Hello, peoples off the tube, and welcome to this Ohmydinosare Spooptacular Contingency Halloween video. And yes, it's a contingency video. Do you know why? I filmed for this Halloween a spoopy phone call video with the spoopiest person I know, Liam Spoopwidge. But do you know what? He's not sent me the file. He's buggering off on holiday tomorrow. Round about the time he comes back, I'm going on holiday, and I'll still be there at Halloween. So what can I do? I'm just going to have to make this instead. Sorry for no spoopy call, but instead I thought to myself, okay, what can I do at short notice? That's what's the spoopiest thing you could do at Halloween? And I thought the thing you do at Halloween, you tell a spoopy story. So I've dug right back into the OMD vaults from before Ohmydinosare was even a thing, and I have pulled out my old creative writing jotter from primary 7. This, some of them are dated. This one is not, this first one at least, but the previous one is dated the 18th of September 2003. So, I mean, it would have been around about that time that this next one was written. The next one is dated the 2nd of December. So this is written sometime between the 18th of September, not December, October, sorry. Somewhere between the 18th of September and the 2nd of October, I wrote this first, because we've got two of them to read, not just one, but two spoopy stories. I've got, they're not all scary. I found the two scariest stories from this jotter. So this is somewhere at the tail end of September 2003. So about 13 years ago I wrote this. So don't expect high quality writing. I mean, you shouldn't be expecting high quality writing anyway. You don't usually get it. And I was like 10, so it's not going to be setting the world on fire. But here we have, for your spoopy delectation. We should have a counter for how many times I say spoopy in this video. We're not doing that. This story is called My Fears, and there's a picture of I'll maybe, if I can be bothered, I'll throw in some of these illustrations. There's one of me under an archway next to someone with pointy teeth, a Sontaran, even though I don't think I knew what a Sontaran was back in 2003. A Frankenstein's monster, a spoopy ghost, something that looks like a Slovene, although again they didn't even exist in 2003, and I don't know, a samurai wearing a beanie over his samurai hat. I don't know what most of these drawings are meant to be. Anyway, don't worry about that. Here's the story. My fears. I am scared of ghosts and spooks and ghouls. I'm scared of them because I used to watch spooky programs. It's a shame it doesn't say spoopy. That'd be funny. Once I watched an episode of Goosebumps when I was 3. It's not. I missed out the E, so it's not Goosebumps now. It's Goosebumps. And there was a demon sponge in it. And I kept thinking it was coming into my bedroom at night. I still remember this, and I've since read the book, and it's not remotely scary. It came from beneath the sink. But the episode traumatized me for years. Not that long ago, I watched an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? This is some real 90s nostalgia for an early 2000s story. Who remembers Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark? Everyone that was around at the time. Those were good programs. Those were fun. And there was a girl who looked in a mirror and saw a horrible monster. Okay, the thing under the arch. I think that's maybe me looking in a mirror, because that's vaguely the shape of my mirror behind me. I had nightmares about the monster in the mirror for about a month, and didn't like looking in mirrors until I saw another episode with a ghoul that was power crazed and out of control that pounced in the dark. So I didn't like going into a room with the lights off. Oh, spoopy. That's really all that I'm scared of. But oh, Wait, big twist coming, guys. Big twist. That's really all that I'm scared of. But I might not be scared. So, yeah, what a twist! I might not be scared of those things. Oh, right, there's more. That's a shame. I thought that was a great ending. It actually says I might not be scared of them anymore someday. It's like the last five or six words on the next page completely ruin it. We'll go with, but I might not be scared, because that's a better twist ending. I think these stories, they need a twist at the end. So that was my fears. Now, this next story, we've had a ghost story. This next one's a monster story. Spoopy, I know. What's it going to say? Let's have a look. Let's find out about the monster of the lake. And there aren't really any illustrations. I've written the word monster in a sort of monstery way, but it looks like rubbish, so I'm not going to show you that. It was the 3rd of June, 1863, and nearing midnight. Lake Ratzenberg was dark and eerie as Charles the fisherman nervously cast out his rod for one last attempt. I'm being quite vague as to what he's. I mean, yeah, he's fishing, but that's. I'm pretty sure I didn't notice at the time, but that is slightly hanging on what his meaning is there. It's a bit of a double entendre. Never mind. We'll move on from that. It's okay. He hadn't caught anything all day, but this time he felt. Oh, I should have read this before I made the video. It's spooky atmosphere. I've got atmospheric lighting. We're not like this isn't a comedy video. This is a spooky video. But this time, he felt a tug at his rod. He pulled hard, and out of the dark, gloomy waters of the lake came a huge head, followed by a snake-like body. It let out a huge roar. The boat was found the next morning, smashed, and Charles was never seen again. Which kind of poses the question as to how do we know this happened then? If the only evidence is the boat is smashed, and we never saw the guy again, how do we know the monster head came out of the lake? How do we know he tugged at his rod? We don't. This is garbage. Anyway, 116 years later. Okay, when would that put us? 1979. Okay, so 3rd of June 1979. This next bit is set. 116 years later, Ern, which my teacher has corrected to Eric for some reason. His name's Ern. It's like short for Ernest. It's fine. What's wrong with calling? She does this every. I've this character a lot. He's like a frequent recurring character in my stories, and my teacher didn't like his name. She said that Ern wasn't a good name. I think it's a fine name. Anyway, Ern was on holiday in Ratzenberg village in the north of England. Okay, well, it's interesting to know that's where it is. He'd hired a rowing boat and was fishing out on the lake. So far, he had caught 3 trouts and a cod. Why? But had felt so sorry for them, he had let them go again. Well, that's nice of him. He was just settling down to his picnic lunch when the water rippled. He looked up, expecting rain, but no rain came. When he looked back down, there was something green sticking out of the water. Then he saw that it was rising up from the blue depths. Okay, I used to say the blue surface. The teachers changed it to depths. I don't know. What's wrong with the blue surface? Depths is maybe more dramatic, but stop editing. Just a side note. I'm going to go off on a tangent here for a while. Not spoopy at all. There's one of these. The teacher corrected something that I'd written, and I'd written it right, and she changed it wrong. And I didn't notice until I went back to reread this like a year ago. And it says something like, well, I'll see if I can find it actually. Let's see if I can find the quote. It's I think it's one of the first ones. It's, there we go. There we go. He likes to play with Andrew and me, which is correct. The teacher has changed it to he likes to play with Andrew and I. No, that's basic level. You take the other person out of the sentence. Doesn't make sense. He likes to play with I. I don't think so. He likes to play with me, or he did. This is a long time ago. But yeah, that's annoying. So stop changing my stories, Mrs. Roar from the past. Great teacher. Not so good at not changing my stories. Never mind. It had eyes. Just jumping straight back in. Ern screamed, which I either me or the teachers changed to screamed, but the C is just stuck in there very small. And started rowing towards the land. There was a head and body out now, and the thing looked like a giant snake. It lurched towards him, and he struck out at it with his oar, but it just snapped. The oar snapped, or the snake snapped? I don't know. It's not clear. Dangling participles. The monster rammed the boat, and it capsized, then turned the right way up again. So, every cloud and all that. Ern threw his picnic hamper at it, and like the oar, it shattered. What's your picnic hamper made out of? It shattered? Is it glass? With one oar, he started rowing again, but it wasn't easy. By the time he had got to land, the monster was already there. Yeah, the spelling isn't great here. Suddenly, he was aware of a small rumble, which became a roar, and a large wave flipped the little boat upside down. It's just going round and round and round, this poor boat. The cliff shook violently. It was an earthquake. It's all going on here, isn't it? The result was immediate. Rock upon rock crashed from the cliff. Ern heard a crack. Why? Why is that in quotation marks? As a rock hit his boat. Then a rumble, followed by a loud wail from the monster, and an almighty splash as it hit the water. Then an eerie silence followed. Ern looked out from under the boat and saw the monster dead in the water. He called the lifeguard, and soon he was back at his hotel, and the monster was safely in a glass cage in the London Science Museum. It seems a bit of a shame on the poor monster. It didn't do anything. It came out of the water, it roared, a guy's boat got smashed a few years ago when he disappeared, but we don't know the monster did that. It's not a monster, it's just a thing. Anyway, even to this day, 5 years on, no, what? So this story is being written in 1984, apparently. Anyway, you can still see the teachers rubbed that out, but no, it's still. Oh no, I tell you what it is. Okay, right. So this is again the teacher's correction has made this very confusing. She's rubbed out 25 years on, which would set the story in 2004, which I think is probably when this was written, because this was slightly later than the last story. So yeah, it used to say even 25 years on. The teacher's rubbed it out and written to this day over the word 20. So it looks like it should say, even to this day, 5 years on. Why change it? Anyway, you can still see the monster at the museum, and if you look hard enough, you'll see a Victorian fishing rod sticking out from between his teeth. Wow! That was really spooky, wasn't it? I've been talking for almost 20 minutes. This has been very spooky. I'm spooked out. I'm spooked out. It's spoopy. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. So thank you for watching, and have a spoopy day. Cause I was Jekyll, Jekyll, Hyde, Jekyll, Hyde, Hyde, Jekyll, 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 Hyde, Jekyll.